Oh, hello there, adventurers. Welcome to Wally D.M. Today is our very first episode where we're going to take a look at monsters that I use in my Pathfinder campaign. And we're going to go old school today, pulling from the AD&D manual, Monster Manual 2, and we're going to take a look at the Oblivax Memory Moss. So what is an Oblivax? An Oblivax is an evil black moss that has a magical power to steal memories from a character, an NPC, or an intelligent monster or creature that comes within 60 foot of the memory moss. Now that character or creature is allowed a saving throw versus spells, or in today's D&D and Pathfinder, a saving throw versus will. If they fail that saving throw, the Oblivax will successfully steal all of the memories of that character or monster from the last 24 hours. Now, the only way for a character or victim of the Oblivax to regain their memories is to eat the Oblivax. This usually takes about one round to do, and after they have eaten the Oblivax, they need to make a saving throw versus poison, or in new D&D Pathfinder, a saving throw versus fortitude, or else they will become extremely ill for approximately 3 to 18 turns. Now, as stated in the Monster Manual, it is also possible to gain spells or the memories of someone else by eating the Oblivax. Now, if a monster or a character ate an Oblivax that had someone else's memories, these will only last for about 24 hours and then would be gone. With regards to combat and an encounter, the Oblivax usually appears in groups of 2 through 12. They have an extremely low armor class. In AD&D it was 10, and I believe an armor class of 10 would be sufficient for Pathfinder and today's D&D. And the Oblivax only has 1 or 2 hit points. So outside of its special attack to steal memories, the only other way that the Oblivax has of attacking or defending itself is to cast spells that were stolen from a character or a creature's memories. Before we go, just a few more thoughts on the Oblivax Memory Moss and how I run them in my campaign. First off, I like to think of the Oblivax as semi-intelligent. Therefore, when a party comes into a room, they immediately are able to detect the spellcasters of the group and will attempt to steal the memories of the spellcasters before they will, let's say, the dwarven barbarian. Another thought is I like to have multiple Oblivax in a room, maybe 1 or 2 per character. It all depends on what I'm trying to achieve in a campaign. If I want the characters to be able to role play a little bit of memory moss, maybe there's a puzzle and they have the clue, and the Oblivax steals their memories and they no longer have the clue to that puzzle. I also like to bring the characters in to a room or an encounter with the Oblivax, but they are also in an encounter with a more imminent threat. Maybe there's 6 armed troglodytes ready to attack, or maybe a stone golem has come to life and is raising its club. Something to keep the party from looking around and discovering the moss. But as they go to attack, they then realize that they're fighting more than just the golem or more than the creature that we put into the room. Of course, I would always recommend a perception check when the party encounters the Oblivax or the memory mosses, and maybe these perception checks are altered with a negative penalty if there's another creature or another monster that they encounter. Maybe they get a increase or a bonus to their perception check. If there is not, let's say they walk into a room and they start to feel a squishy, soft floor, and looking around they see some green moss, but there's patches of black moss on the floor of this dungeon room or area that they are in. As a final note, if a character does make a saving throw, I would highly encourage maybe telling that character, saying, "You've made your saving throw, but you feel a little tingling into your brain like something is trying to get in." Or something like that, where they know that there is something in the area and it's trying to affect with their melon. So, um, other than that, I can't really think of anything else. I'll post a video of our recent dungeon experience where a party encountered the Oblivax for the very first time, and I'll also try to either include in that video or in a separate video a puzzle that includes the Oblivax memory moss. So if I figure out this YouTube thing, you can probably click right here. I think, maybe. Click right here. I don't know. If it works, click right there. If not, just go to the playlist and it'll either be under encounters or puzzles. And we'll take a look at how I've used Oblivax in, as I said, in one of our recent adventures. So hope you liked the video. If you would, it'd be really awesome if you would subscribe, throw a like on there. And until next time, on to the next.